Welcome to Chi-Town Poppy Podcast, Episode 3.
That's right. Welcome
Money
back,
Bear.
everybody. Money Bear. You got your man, G Money, right here.
Hey, how's it going?
And this is my man, big timer, founder, co-founder of Gamesters Bay. How you doing, Mr. Ramson Zaya?
Doing good.
You
How
do
you guys
good?
doing? Thanks for taking the trip
I know,
over.
right? We're already on the marketing joint.
Yeah,
Look at that.
yeah.
It's fantastic.
Told them we don't have to overdo it, but it doesn't hurt. It's okay. Looks cool. Advertising never hurts, right?
I know, right? Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us again for the Chi-Town Poppy Podcast. This is episode 3, right?
CPP.
CPP 3.
And this is our first one actually being live on location.
That's right. We are live on location.
They're here in the Racine location.
That's right.
They took the
We are
trip
here
over.
at Gamesters Bay in Racine, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very
And
much, man. We appreciate you inviting us here. We appreciate you giving us your time. I know you're a busy man. I know. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you also got, they
But that's
also
okay.
have one
That's
in
okay.
Oh, in
Evanston.
Yeah, Evanston was first. This was the second location. Much more room to do this here. It'd be way more crammed in the first location. So
That's correct.
for sure. You've seen it, so.
No, but that's fine. You know what? Business is business.
Small beginnings, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
small
Show it all
beginnings like
off.
everybody else. Hey, we started at a basement.
I mean,
And
that's
now
how
we're
I
on
learned.
location.
Hey.
At Gamesters Bay.
I
Gamesters
caught
Bay.
the, you said, what was it, Apple or Microsoft? Started in the
Yeah.
garage.
That is
Garage,
right. They
yeah.
started in a
Small, you
garage,
know?
brother.
A lot of people tell me, oh, you should have gone bigger. You should have got a bigger store. I was like, yeah, but twice the size would have been double the rent.
Yeah.
And, with COVID and everything that happened, that would have been a tough thing to throw yourself into as a brand new business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Most people
Mhm.
aren't used to having a huge overhead every month.
Right.
So it's like, that would have been tough.
Yeah, that's true.
So what
So-
made you get this idea, or how did you come about this?
So I started the brand in 2018, and that was all I had to begin with. I didn't have a store or anything. I was doing a little bit of collecting games and stuff like that, and I had a storage unit, and then I transitioned into the store. But I always wanted to get into the gaming industry. We all play video games growing up and stuff.
Right.
I know I do.
Yeah, and still too, I try to get into as much as I can, but doing this full time is pretty tough to play as much. I get to play more here. At the other one, I have to be all serious. So,
You're like, we're not here to play. Buy something.
Mm.
well, in the repairs and cleaning, I was like, it's always a mess in there too. I'm trying to always clean stuff up, and someone will walk in with a trade in or whatever, and I'm like, all right, I gotta clean all these cartridges, go through, and it could be crazy. You see how some of our friends have stores too that are
Correct.
just the same. It's just stuff everywhere. So
That's right. And so, you started from humble beginnings. You're an entrepreneur. Now you have this fantastic place here in Racine as well. What do you wish when you started? You wish you knew before you got into the business. What are some key points people should know before starting a small business like this?
So you want to keep costs low. So if we're talking in terms of before I got into the first location, you always want to start slow and start small. A lot of people want to order, 100 of this product, 100 of this product, 100 of this product. And before you know it, you're sitting on, you might sell 2 of them, but you have 98 that are still sitting that you've invested in. And so I tried doing it in the beginning, but I caught on later. Well, I wish I would have done it from the beginning was, buy 1 or 2 things at a time instead of, because I bought 10 controllers for a system. I had no idea how people in the neighborhood would react. Until this day, I still have a bunch of those controllers sitting in the store. And I ended up even getting more of them in deals and stuff where I would have saved a lot more just waiting for those. The demand was low, but I wanted to have a high inventory. But I was so it's you always want to go into it very what's the word?
Piecemeal.
Yeah, you want to be what's the word I'm trying to use? It's frugal with your spending.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be investing too much into it.
Well, you bought in bulk because you thought you were to save and
The
sell
thing is,
quickly, right?
The thing is, I didn't even buy bulk in that sense. I bought I just went to eBay, right?
Uh-huh.
And I started buying up controllers from other random sellers. And I was like, man, I probably could have waited and found, a bulk deal from someone who would have sent me the same amount of controllers for $20-$30 less. So that's another thing. It was just kind of impulsive
Right.
just grabbing up stock that you don't know whether or not it's going to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually it will, right? But it's like, yeah, at that too,
How-
you miss out on the opportunity to get a bulk deal
Right.
instead of just jumping right into it on your own. And yeah, I mean that's like one of the main takeaways from that.
Well, that's good to know. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that. And being a small business owner, and with everything, we'll segue a little into the pandemic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How did that affect your business? I know with one of our previous guests, that affected him pretty hard. He lost his store, but he's gonna be, reopening again, refreshed. Thank God.
Yeah.
How did that affect you?
So, most businesses were affected, right? But, well, every business is affected, whether it's negative or positive. I kind of got the positive end of it because, a lot of people being home now had time to dig through their basements, their attics, and sell stuff. A lot of people were just, selling stuff for reasonable prices in a market where there became such a huge demand for entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can't make money at your day job, you can get into a retro game and stream you playing it, and so how many other people probably felt the same thing? So it actually really boosted the business because a lot of people needed to be entertained at home, and you saw very quickly like Xbox Ones and PS4s in specific, used ones were going above their retail cost, above the brand new retail cost, and that alone, like, you can't get your hands on the new stuff, so you're gonna naturally go for the old stuff. And literally, people were literally like, "You don't have it? Okay, what else do you have? What other system?" So people were like impulse buying just on the count of the fact they want to be at home playing something. Yeah, they could find it on eBay, right? But it's like they don't want to wait a week. So people like usually would be more lenient to wait, ordering things online. But in this situation, like people were doing like curbside pickup and stuff and paying ahead. So that was cool. I was accommodating, but it definitely helped out a lot. Helped me stock up a ton of inventory when I first opened, which is good because I saw things that I had in the store that were like $15. People came back 2-3 weeks later and it was $50.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, like the little red expansion packs for the 64s.
Yeah.
I had like 7 when I opened, and they were $15. A guy even came in trying to buy one, and I told him 15. He didn't buy it. He came back. And I checked out because I wasn't pre-pricing when I first started because everything was crazy. I was like, man, I could price everything and then it'll all change.
Market.
Yeah. So it was pretty insane. So it definitely boosted it. But, obviously a lot of other businesses, unfortunately, they got negative effects from it.
Right.
So do you have a website, or do you do any shipping to anybody if they were to call or ask you?
So
you have something?
So I try to avoid selling online mainly because what starts to happen is like all your good stuff will sell first. And then when people come to the actual store, there's nothing that's good. Like, so I didn't want people, like, for a new business, for people to be like, they never have anything, or, the store selection was whack or whatever. So I try to keep the good stuff in the store.
For walk-ins?
Yeah, for walk-ins, yeah, and locals and stuff like that. Because it's like, you want people to come get it there.
The treasure hunt.
That, and it's just like, even during COVID, you want everybody to come in there if you can get them to. Just so that even, they might spend on something else. Or they might come back, or they might trade stuff in. So it was like, okay, I really want to get people in here. So I was just trying to retain keeping all the games in the store. Sometimes, like, I'll sell online, but it's like stuff where it's like too expensive, where people locally, you got to wait for someone who really wants the game and is willing to spend, $200, $100.
So that being said, and since you've expanded here in Racine, what triggered you to get this bigger space? And now obviously you guys don't just do retro games anymore. Seems like you guys do now like table games. You're also doing kids parties. Like what triggered you to think about expanding into this next store, next level?
Well, so from the very beginning, I always wanted to. I had this plan of having one store in each state, something. Anything. So it could be, use these 2 stores as an example. The first one's just game sales, repairs, and cleaning. This one we take in like the repairs, we can offer the cleaning, but we have to like work it in Evanston. We're working on getting it here, but really it was just like I knew I wanted to be in each state. And so when I met my partner Yvette, she had an accounting office next door to the Evanston location. And so she bought a home here. And then I checked it out. And I kind of like that like 70K mark of population. So Evanston's around the same and Racine's around the same thing. It's a good enough amount of population to last as a small business, you know?
Right.
So yeah, and then, you know, basically Yvette moving here, that helped out a ton. And that really boosted, like that was like kind of like okay, this is gonna work out because we can be back and forth, we can maintain both of them, you know. And so it's a really good partnership, and that's basically what gets the ball rolling. I mean, I started the first one by myself, but I had my troubles here and there too with it. So it was like kind of like a rocky start, but things were slowly starting to pick up anyway. I was getting more organized. With a partner, it helps out a ton. And yeah, I mean, that's really like what made me kind of get to this point. and you know, I want to keep going, of course.
So you started Gamesters first on your own, right?
Yeah.
And then Yvette came along.
Yeah.
So how did that partnership happen?
I mean, I actually really needed an accountant at the point too, because I was like, man, you know what? Like,
you gotta pay them taxes.
I get that CPA. You gotta get that CPA.
Debt and
Right?
taxes,
You know,
they're the
it's
number one things in life,
important.
right?
It's super important because it's just like, man, you know, like who wants to sit there and do the numbers when they're trying to focus on the job itself? It's like a mechanic knows what he's doing on a car. For him to have to do his own like paperwork could distract him from his main thing, you know? So that was kind of the approach.
Gotta have that front office.
Exactly. And then slowly but surely we were talking more, interests aligned, things like that. And, you know, here we are today. A lot of work has gone into it, you know. She's helped out immensely, so that's good. And yeah, like our interests align, so it's really, that's like what I tell people. You have to build relationships with people. Like everyone's so, I don't want to do this unless you pay me. I don't want to do this. And so like, you got to build relationships with people that money can't buy. You know what I mean? And so that's really pretty much that. So.
Well, that's cool. Well, that's pretty awesome. So what would you say has been, I guess, the easiest part? Has it been doing like this table stuff or selling retro games? What has
from
been
the whole or for here?
On a whole.
On a whole, I guess the easiest part is literally dealing with trade-ins and selling the games as is, you know, like as they come, you know. That's like literally the simplest part. And then I guess like the birthdays that we do here are pretty simple too, because, you know, obviously I know how to handle all the consoles. And most of it kind of like, you know, people bring their own food. Sometimes they'll buy like snacks and stuff that can get a little hectic. Because it'd be like random kids picking and grabbing and stuff.
You said veggie sticks.
Yeah, right.
I know a little bit about that.
Yeah, right.
Did you bring the veggie sticks? You're like, oh no, sorry, I didn't bring the hummus.
Yeah, right. The pita chips and the hummus. That's the best.
The pita chips and the hummus. There.
So what are your hours of operation, or do you have a website or anything? Or
yeah, so we do have a website. The hours in Evanston are Monday through Friday, 12 to 7. And then here it's 12 to like 11:30 on Fridays, and then same thing on Saturdays, and then Sundays is 12 to 6, or I think 11 to 6. I believe. I think we just agreed on that. So, because it's like downtown here is more, there's more people during the Sunday morning, so it's like you might as well be open a little bit earlier, even though most people aren't trying to play like go. I mean, people do, but. By Evanston, I don't get too many people too early, so.
Yeah, that's cool.
What made you choose Racine as a location?
Well, in part, you know, my partner moving here, or buying a home here too, it made me like, you know, come out and check out the area, and I like the small town thing, you know, and like Evanston seems to be pretty solid in terms of like.
We're trying. It's off the cuff. No,
we're about to bring on the good help, and they made this happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want
come on in?
Come on in.
Let's introduce yourself.
I'll step out and let the other half speak.
No.
You know, because
yeah, we definitely.
I feel like
go
I'm
ahead,
doing
sit
an
down.
okay job, but
You're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I feel like I was like heavy breathing in it. So
Like no, you were fine.
We'll
You're
get a
fine.
sub in here.
No,
So to
it's fine.
support and make this business happen over here, is that right?
Yep.
So how you like the area? No?
It's like Chicago.
Oh,
Well, I mean, I don't mind Chicago. It's just a lot of violence, and it's just yeah.
the same here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
I guess Chicago's just not just
well,
dangerous.
Racine is kind of a mini Chicago, in my opinion.
It's definitely a smaller version.
So yeah, so I was looking for property in Wisconsin for quite some time, 7 years, and then the riots in Kenosha happened, and then I said no to Kenosha, and then next thing you know, I found a house built in 1988. You know, the kind that. That it's like a pyramid. The foundation's like a pyramid, and it goes up, and I'm like, man, the foundation's amazing, and it's a really good, sturdy house. So
that's awesome.
I was the first bidder, not the best bidder, but the first one, and I got it because my real estate agent told the guy, hey, be honest, we were first, and even though it took forever to sell, it was bad. Oh my God! But anyway, we won't go there.
Oh, that's a housing thing, and housing we all know it's been a crazy.
It has, yeah.
It's been crazy.
I mean, like 20
houses
bids
have been
per
jumping
house.
for like 100K and up.
Yeah, 20 bids per house, and now you're signing a waiver, and for the because if the bank appraises it,
right,
and the difference between what the bank appraised, what the bank will allow, and then 25% more out of pocket. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's what happened with Racine, and then, like I said, there was like a toquecito, and so because honestly, I wasn't planning all of this, and so next thing you know, here we are, and I don't know I just don't know what happened. It's not like we planned it.
Right.
It's not.
No.
Okay. But it aligned with.
It just fell in place. Yeah.
It aligned with what Ramson was saying and what he wanted. He's like, I want, game store in 50 states, and I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, how the hell are you gonna do that?
Aggressive.
It is.
Yeah.
I figured it's a good foundation. Right?
I'm like, how are we gonna do that? And I'm an accountant, okay? So the reality,
the numbers start popping in your head.
the reality of things are a little different than,
So tell me, so Ramson gave his side of the story. Tell me your side of the Gamesters Bay story. How did you guys part? How did you tell me the partner story from the other partner side?
Okay, well, it was so funny because Ramson moved in maybe 2 or 3 months before I moved in, and he was on Dempster, 1806 Dempster. Oh no, 1808. Yeah. And I moved into 1806. And then it took me forever to get into the office, So, but then when I was there, I would see this guy walk past my window. He did no eye contact. And then he was urban. He was urban looking, like urban. He the hoodie, and I'm like, oh God, who the hell is this guy? And then he walks on, he's smoking, and I'm like, what? Like, I don't never want to meet him. Literally, I was like afraid of him. I was.
Oh man.
Yeah, but look, I was born. I was like born in Chicago, right? Made in Puerto Rico, but. Clemente was a thing. I was there.
Oh boy,
and Latin community. So okay, I get that, right? Well, Ramson looked a little like those guys. In the way he dresses, kind of like urban, And I'm like, okay. So, but anyway, I digress.
No, this is fantastic. This is definitely entertainment right here in itself.
And then it was boarded up. Oh my God, his face was
like. Oh yeah, for a minute there, yeah. So I had like this. I had this.
What's
like.
The story on that?
I had a slat wall, right? You know what that is? Like they hang stuff on for the retail status, and it's like, man, I had like one extra board left over, and so I just put it up, because I was like, man, like I don't know, like the store feels super exposed, And so I put that up, and I was thinking about getting curtains that I could close at night, so it would just be like closed off, but.
The curtains didn't happen.
Yeah, it ended up literally being like that big board for the slat wall, and then it was like another wooden plank that I had there leaning against it, and then there was like a cardboard box that was like, and I leaned up against the window, and it was just the funniest space. Yeah, I literally built like a fort. It was like that.
Like a little
opened up the window,
and like
some
people would kind of be uncomfortable walking in. They'd be like, man, like I just tell them like, I don't know, I'm just thinking about what I want to do with the curtains.
Well, I had people coming into my store, which was open. And they were like, what's going on over there?
Exactly open?
And they were like, man, we think he's living there. Do you know the guy? I'm like, no, I don't know the guy. And there were like some rumors that the Hispanic ladies would come by and they're like, ¿Quién es? Parece que vive ahí, no sé.
Ya vino el chisme.
And I'm like, no sé, señora, no sé, de veras que no sé. And so, so everybody was afraid of Ramson. He looked suspicious. But anyway, then little by little, he started peeling off the layers of the window. And then
exposing himself.
Yeah, right.
I saw board games up at the top, all the way at the top of a shelf. And I'm like, I got so excited.
So that's what
I had his number because the landlord gave me this number because it was cold in my side and he controlled the thermostat.
Oh yeah.
So the only reason
It's rigged up nice.
He's like, can you turn it up a little, please?
Oh yeah, I was real quick with my, I'm cold. Can you please?
He's turned it up.
And he did. He was good.
Okay.
But that was it. There was no more conversation because I was still afraid of him.
Just the thermostat.
What about that game of Trouble?
Well, wait a minute. Then I saw the board games. So I'm a board game gal, right? 20 hours a week, board game cruise, the cons. I love board games. And accounting isn't very funny and fun. It's not
it's a hoot.
It's not like
people talk about it all the time in my house.
It's not like a roller coaster ride, not anything exciting there. So I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So I texted and I'm like, you play board games? You play games? And he's like, yeah, I play games, but I didn't say board games. We were talking about games, and I got excited, and I'm like, someone I can play board games with, yay, right? No, it's video games that he played, but I don't do video games. But it doesn't matter. I love the fact that there was somebody right by me who was the epitome of fun.
That's
and
awesome.
That pulled like the little girl out of me.
Hey, sometimes that's all it takes.
I was happy that he was next door and there was fun over there.
and it wasn't just some psycho in a boarded up window, right?
So then I went in there. I went into the support and I bought a bunch of things for my kid. And then he's like, I might need some accounting help. And I'm like, okay. and I went through that and,
That's awesome.
Every client has got its own story. Ramson had its own story, accounting story. But
so you like board games?
Battleship sunk.
Well, the battleship would have sunk had I not come over. But so that's how it happened. And then next thing you know, we were planning events, and then I started to get more comfortable with him, and then we started talking more, and then next thing you know, something exciting would happen on his end. He'd come over and like, guess what? And I'd be like, something exciting happened with me, and I'd go over there and relax, get the hell out of the whole numeric data, financial, and so it was interesting. We got along very well. We're very good work partners. And then one thing led to another, and here we are. I bought the house, and I'm a risk taker.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. My mother wouldn't think so.
Oh.
No.
Well,
hey, mommy,
you're on this show, so you're taking some type of risk.
Oh yeah,
right?
no.
I think you're taking.
I like small business. I have Cake Pop and Roll. I've got my brother's GetOffTheStreet.org, non-for-profit, which is an idea that he came out with, and then
if there's anything you want to shout out to, go ahead.
Oh, I appreciate that.
More than happy to. We're trying to be like
you're
I
in
said,
trouble now. Okay,
we're
here
the
we
Chi-Town
go.
Papi podcast.
Here we go.
Chi-Town Papi loves everybody. We're the Everyman's podcast. We want everybody to know what's going on in and around Chicagoland area, even up here in Wisconsin. That's why we're here on location.
Well,
right?
so here's how it goes. My parents are like Florsheim, Zenith people, right? And then you stay in the job for 20, 30 years, and that's it. That's your life. Yeah. Not me. Nope.
Broke the cycle.
I like to grow gray hairs and freak out, and I like to jump in and dive into things without research, and then work and then learn throughout. And there's a lot of gray hairs, but I come out smelling like a rose all the time.
Nice.
I never give up. It's a challenge. This is a challenge. I love it. I don't think I would do things any different than I'm currently doing now. But we're all a product of, again, Puerto Rico, right? And of course, we lived in Humboldt Park Bucktown, that area, and then, well, here we are. My brother passed away January 17th.
Sorry to
He
hear
was,
that.
thank you. He was Officer Wilson. He was like Mr. Clean, literally 6'5", smaller waist than me. I'm 5'5", he's 6'5". Imagine me, like, every time I
He's
saw
like,
him, I'd be like, Willie! And I'd grab his waist, and he's like,
Now that's
hey,
an
hey, take
intimidating
it
man right
easy.
there. Excuse me.
Yeah, he'd look down at me like, what are you doing? It's my waist. But, yeah, so he volunteered for 14 years in a small community called New London, Ohio. And it's a community of 2,400 people. And honestly, the pastor is the mayor. The guy who runs the transportation for school also runs EMS. And so I felt like, wow, I come from abundance. I come from a city that has so much and wastes so much. And so I started to do work over there and get involved, get to know the people he knew and his friends, and get really involved. And we did an Easter basket giveaway last year. We're currently doing that now. We're here in Racine, and I am from Evanston, and Ramsden is from Rogers Park, but we're kind of like, we're right by Evanston.
My man, Rogers Park.
So I don't, like, there's a lot of bureaucracy and politics in Evanston that doesn't allow for an easy
Right.
coordination, sharing, community kind of thing. And it's almost like I've been wanting to do something like getoffthestreets.org over there.
Right.
Ramsden and I have been wanting to, but it's just never come to fruition like we think it should have. I mean, you got to have drop-in centers. You got people and kids out there who aren't eating, on bikes in the middle of the night, getting shot at, acting stupid, and guess what? They don't have any food in their system. Who the hell can think without any food in their system? This from a diabetic person.
No. You know, and I
So-
think that's one thing that I've seen, especially in the city and the community, and especially when you're starting to serve a small business. You know, these are the things that overlooked, right? In the city, especially during the pandemic. I have kids. I've seen lots of kids that go, when the pandemic started, go without eating sometimes because, you know, the only time they would really eat is when they go to school.
Right.
And you take that away, and yeah, they'll say, oh, you can pick up a bag at the school, or you can come to the school to eat. But if they have no transportation to here,
Right.
or they don't have somebody to walk them safely, because there are some neighborhoods you can't even walk in safely.
Right.
How are they supposed to get these items? How are they
Right.
supposed to get these resources? And if they're doing, and I don't want to segue too much into it, but you know, when it comes to education, because I have a whole platoon of things I got against that.
Sure.
But, you know, CPS has its problems.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
And I think when it came to that, you know, the internet issue, you're throwing these kids virtual. Parents don't even have the ability to get that.
Right.
They say, yeah, you can call Comcast, get your free internet, sure. But what happens when you have a family that doesn't speak English correctly,
Right.
or they don't have the ability to, or
They don't
afraid to call for
understand,
those
or
resources.
they're not techie. They
Right.
don't even have the time, honestly.
They don't be like, oh, what's
Right.
this block? Oh, we'll send
They
somebody
don't
out.
understand.
It's
And-
not
and
gonna
they
be
even get
priority service,
frustrated.
It's free.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
already given the
Yeah,
internet service free.
there was a lot of problems for sure. And
No.
yeah.
Because it's interesting on Howard Street. I don't know if you guys remember the jungle.
Yeah.
You know?
Howard
So-
is right there, and,
Yeah.
and that's scary.
And that's the scary part because it's Chicago and then you have
Right.
Evanston. It's like, it doesn't
Red-
even mix.
The
It's
red
like
line,
oil
you
and
got
water.
The red line
It's
right
red
there,
water.
the Howard stop, that'll take you all the way back to the south side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
there
bloodline.
have been a
Yeah,
lot of
the
amazing
bloodline.
kids, like from ETHS. They were like superstar sports, basketball superstars. From this high school that ended up somehow 2:00 in the morning in an alley doing what? What's this kid doing? And he gets shot and he's dead. There's just too much of that going on.
There is.
And
There is.
I live in downtown Evanston,
Mhm.
and I've been fortunate to be there, right, for the past 5 years, but at the same token, I used to walk.
Right.
I don't walk around there anymore. There's just too much crime going on. It is worse than Cicero, Illinois.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's somewhere on the internet.
Ah.
reported data. So
Merwin.
but yeah, so
Merwin.
getoffthestreets.org, and
Okay.
All right.
that's an
definitely.
Officer Wilson project, and what we're doing now, see how easy this is? Like, I'm in Racine, and all I have to do is walk over to Parks and Rec and talk to the head guy and say, hey, I'm who I am. This is my brother. This is what I'm doing. Would you be interested? Absolutely. So next thing you know, Ramson and I are outfitting parks and recs, community centers with video games and consoles. And why? Because how do you reach kids? You reach them with what they like and where they're at. What do they like? Well, okay, they like hip hop music and rap music with bad words. They like that whole music scene, DJing, recording. They're taking YouTube videos and they're taking that content and re-recording and doing whatever they want. Who cares about copyrights, you know?
I have a TikTok.
So,
but we care about it because we don't want the
you
copyright
guys
strike
care about it.
for
The kids
ourselves,
don't. Kids
We
don't
care
get
about
it.
YouTube, we follow the rules.
No,
we
but
try to.
They
so
don't care. These
Nintendo,
kids,
don't sue us. They've sued
Yeah,
1,300 people
so
already.
We figure, hey, look it, we're just gonna meet the kids where they're at. I don't even care if they're playing games that are mature. You know, somebody's got to sit down, go through the game with them, play the game with them, and that's Ramson. Ramson does that all the time.
Excellent.
And he says,
My
dude,
man.
don't do this because if you do, boom. And how many kids are out there in the community and in prison because they made one really bad decision?
Hundreds.
You mean
Too many.
I can't go out there robbing cars or not carjacking like the video
hit the
game?
restart on that.
Crazy.
No, there's no 3-star rating for that.
Yeah.
You don't
No,
want
no
that
So-
cheat
3-star
code,
rating.
bro. You
So then-
removes all
So
stars.
Parks and Rec.
Unfortunately, there is no cheat
Yeah.
code unless we're talking about lawyers.
Yeah. And
That
even
would be the cheat
sometimes
code.
the cheat code
So then
doesn't register there.
the other entity that we're working with now is the cop houses. They've got five to seven cop houses here in Racine, and we're working with them now. And I'm like, okay, what do you want? What do you need? So then I go to work and I tell the community, hey, here's what I need. Go to the basement, grab that video console you haven't played with for 10 years, dust it, bring it out. If it's broken, give it to us. We'll fix it. We'll get it, repaired in working condition. Guess what? It could be reused, you know?
Right.
So that's the campaign that we're running now, where we're looking for PCs, TVs, video game consoles, video games, and board games, and any. We're really looking for activities for these kids.
And and definitely, all these programs that you have, we're gonna post it up here. And
Appreciate that.
if you're watching this and you're interested to help out and be part of these programs, I think it's a great idea. Honestly, I think it's a very noble thing to ask. And if anybody out there in YouTube land wants to be part of these projects, we're gonna hit some links down there. We're gonna put it out here, and then please reach out to them. And
Yeah, so you could reach us at www.gamestersbay.us, and I believe it's GamestersBay-Racine on Facebook, and that's where we have all of our events. Our UFC tournament coming up February 26th, where we're doing a play and watch. And I can't tell you what kind of beverages we're going to have because it's against the rules.
these would be retailer-specific beverages. Thank you. That's the best
And some of
metaphor.
them come from Mexico. And something like, models, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Crown, a hint crown.
we're gonna have a talk, Ramsey. We're gonna have to have a talk.
But anyway.
Well, you guys have a great
Thanks for
partnership
having
with
me.
me. Yeah, no.
I
Actually,
think
you're our
so.
first woman. Congratulations.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
how cool.
So,
Yeah,
first
I
you know,
was,
thank
I was
you.
a little intimidated. I was like,
No.
no, Ramsey, I think you should it's the guys. You need to do this with
No,
the guys.
no.
No,
This
no,
isn't
you-
just a guy
no.
show.
Appreciate
No.
it. Thank you.
No,
We
you-
want to hear from women entrepreneurs as well, just as well as men entrepreneurs.
Thank
We're,
You
we want to hit a wide audience. There's lots of guests that are going to be coming up, and thank you very much for taking the time as well, being with us and sharing your story.
Appreciate it.
I hope really that we've helped your message in a way by doing
I think
this.
so. And by the way, if you guys are interested in cake pops,
She
my
makes-
sister is a cake pop
Oh.
queen, and of course I have to, get in there and get involved and keep it going
Get
and
hands.
roll the balls.
We'll keep on,
yeah.
keep on.
Yeah, thanks.
I
And
like
what's
that.
your sister's business? Go ahead.
Yeah,
throw a
so
shout out.
okay. Oh, you guys, family trauma for the past year. It started out with collapse
We don't want the
ceiling.
trauma. We just
Oh,
want to know
no,
where you
no,
can
no,
buy
no.
cake
No.
pops.
Oh no, people love this.
We don't want to
stuff.
put people's
People love
family
this
on
stuff.
blast. This is a family channel.
Oh no,
Ish.
it's
family.
collapsed ceiling at mom's on Thanksgiving 2019. My sister.
That's the worst to deal with. Just
oh my God, my sister had a full-on fire, December 23rd.
Wow.
And the whole community of Evanston just poured love on her and just took care of her.
That's wonderful.
They were amazing. But she had a broken leg. That year was a bad year for her. Broken leg, 3 fractures, 5 months in rehab. Comes home 4 months. Next, she's got this fire. She loses everything. And then that's when my brother comes. He comes for 3 weeks. He knows he's sick. He doesn't tell anybody. Rubbing his chest, sleeping a lot. I figured, I don't know about you guys, but when you go home to your mom's, that's like the best place to sleep.
Yeah.
It's just the best
Comfort,
place to
yeah.
sleep. So I thought, okay,
It's
that's
the
what he's
comfort.
doing. He's just enjoying it, right? Well, he went back home, and then a week or 2 later, he passed away, January 17th.
I'm sorry to hear that.
His aorta tore because he had hypertension. He had it for a very long time and didn't get it treated. And so, yeah, that's what happened. So,
Check with your doctors.
Lots of
Be
trauma.
safe. That
Oh,
one
police
year,
officers,
one
my
year,
God.
Once a year will save your life.
Yeah.
You never know.
Don't wait too long because the aorta stretches and they can't put it back together. You can't do that. But that's what happened. So, and then in all of this, the Chicago Tribune did a couple of articles on my sister, and there was a mention of Cake Pop and Roll, how we were trying to launch it. I even had the logo on the window in Evanston. I'm working with the city of Evanston to try to get that going there. And next thing you know, she's like, I can't do it, and I don't blame her, right? Look, she's gone through a fractured leg, rehab 5 months, losing everything, and then her brother passed away.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I decided to take it over and move forward with it, and I figured
That's
that
awesome.
she would hop in or jump in. She hasn't yet, but
So I guess you just took over as full ownership
No,
at
no,
this point, right?
she's there. She's still there, and she'll call me and she'll say, "Pero Yvette, I told you, you gotta have these things done a year in advance. You gotta get the balls done.
Oh, okay.
That way
Wow.
things don't get a little crazy at the end."
Yeah.
And we do have a February Valentine's Day special. It's 14% off a cake ball, or cake pop.
Cake Pop. And where can people order these wonderful cake
Yeah,
pops?
so cakepopandroll@gmail.com. All one word, the and is. And or you can call 224-518-1100. That's the number for Gamesters Bay Racine, Cake Pop and Roll. And just order, tell me what you want. We're different from all the other cake pop makers in that our cake pops are dense. There's four ways to make cake pops, so we kind of like ours, like
She chose number
meaty.
3. That nobody wanted to pick, but she didn't try it yet.
We
don't know
have
if you
really
like
good
it.
flavors. We have like a orange dreamsicle, strawberry and creams, the chocolate banana. We've got zesty lemon. So these cake pops are really, really good. And I have a variety of flavors for cakes and a variety of flavors for chocolates. And we use really good chocolate, Ghirardelli, and then there's some other ones that we use that we have to order in bulk. So just let us know in advance. If you want custom, we'll do a kick-ass custom order for you, but you gotta give us time. You can't just call me, on a Thursday wanting it for Saturday.
Well, I
That's
didn't
not
know,
gonna work.
so Ramson didn't tell me there was cake and ball,
Yeah.
my friend.
So,
And I'm feeling a little sad about that right now. We could have had that pre-ordered.
We're on Facebook too, Cake Pop and Roll, and you'll see pictures of roses. My sister makes the roses and the sunflowers and the ratatouille. Michael and the rat, and she's so good at what she's doing. She could probably make a spitting image of you in a cake ball, a cake pop.
A cake ball.
Cake pop form.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, cake pop form.
Well, I don't know the ball thing. If you're meaty and obese, maybe maybe that'll work.
Hey, this looks too much like me.
We could give you a 6-pack.
Try to flex it, put like an extra 2 6 marshmallows right here. I appreciate
And
it.
don't call me for accounting. I'm really trying to get out
Get
of
away.
the whole accounting thing.
They're having fun playing games
I
now.
want to
I
have
know,
fun.
right?
It's time.
Ramsey took her out. She's like, we're just playing board games from here on out.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm going to exit because I've got deadlines. It's January 30th.
Deadline. Oh, my God.
And we
all right.
1099s have to be filed.
Tax season coming around.
And W-2s
Thank you
have to
very
be
much for
filed.
taking your
Thank
time.
you.
Appreciate it.
Where's my Boricua right there? That's what I'm talking about. Good West Side. Good West Side right there. So, you
Back in the mix.
He's
you
back in the
plan
mix.
on taking some crypto pretty soon or what?
Well, let's segue into that, right? Okay,
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it's good to mess around with crypto. I mean, I lost some money in the beginning, but that was the usual suspect, which is getting too ahead. You know, start dumping into like
Yeah.
As soon as it starts going up, you wanna put more money in, and you're like, damn, you know, like, and then like I bought in when it peaked in like 2017 or 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So I paid a lot for some of mine. I definitely took like so I put in 1,100, and I lost like 900 on the portfolio.
Oh.
Yeah. But then because I waited and I kept some little things, I bought some stuff hit. So that number, like that $900 loss, probably is looking more like 500 now. So that's not bad. You know, I recouped a little bit, but it's a great learning tool. I honestly feel like it's got a ton of potential. Like my personal opinion, one thing that I realized too late, I feel like they're gonna disrupt the banking system.
Oh, that's for sure. I think so.
Yeah, because there's more reward putting your money there than there is in the bank. Think about how many, now the banks are starting to ease up on how many penalties they give out to people.
Exactly, yeah.
The other day, like, because I was so used to, like, once in a while my Chase will go negative. And, like, the next day you go and you check and they done ran you for $34 on insufficient funds. And the other day it happened, and it happened a few days in a row because they kept doing the iPads. And I was like, man, they stopped. And then I see on the thing when I was walking in the Chase, they're like, oh, yeah, if it's less than $50 now, we're not going to hit you with the fee on the thing. I was like, about freaking time you guys stop ramming people for their money, dude. Like, because I was about to say, like, the crypto, sorry to cut you off, the crypto
it's okay.
is like, they're not really ramming you unless you pull out when it's at your own discretion.
Right.
So it's your fault if your money goes down.
If it gets liquidated, it's on you.
Yeah, exactly.
You knew the funds were low that day. But let's take it a little bit into the business side. So would you ever take crypto as a payment for a store?
So that I'm trying to wrap my head around, because it's like, I was like, okay, if someone comes in, like, what? How am I gonna break it down? Like, I'm gonna ask this guy for like 0.0001 of like a crypto, like or like whatever, say Bitcoin. Would I be doing that for like a game that's $40, or like how, you would have to like see, I guess you could think about it how they deal with metals, like gold and silver. I think that's probably how it's gonna start to look. It's gonna be on a day-to-day basis, like.
So a conversion, basically. That's
yeah. Like, I think that's going to play the biggest factor before people will be like, okay, I'll gladly take
store.
it. Some people don't have no problem taking it. I guess if you're doing larger, like, okay, if it's $1,000 or like you're doing a transaction for one Bitcoin, I guess you can make that simple.
Like, say somebody wants that boxed Nintendo and you're asking for, like $1,000. Would you take $1,000 in Ethereum or Bitcoin?
See, so here's the thing, too. It kind of becomes a gamble, right? Because it's like, if I do that and that 1,000 becomes 2,000 in a month and I pull out at the 2,000 mark, I would have sold my Nintendo for 2 racks, not the one.
Really? Oh, okay.
That's one thing I was like, okay, this is really going to take off. And I mean, the unfortunate thing I realized about crypto is like, if nobody logs back into that account, no one's owed anything.
Yeah.
Right.
So your money's technically like, look, I hate to say it, it's the sad reality of life. People die and they don't write their shit down or anything like that. So it's like no access, nobody gets none of that. So I and you can benefit from their portfolio still being untapped.
Right.
So it's like, it's kind of always going to be building up.
There you go. You know it, right? I already know it. I see. I'm already in his head. He don't even know it.
He's already scratching that part.
Seen like a video of a dude going through like a computer recyclery landfill type thing, and he's like digging, trying to find his hard drive. I'm like, just give it up, bro. Like, your Bitcoin is gone, bro.
All right. Well, those are some key points, but I think it is the future. And hopefully one day you will be taking Bitcoin for
Yeah,
trade-ins, and
I can definitely see it happening. That's why I think the banks are easing up. Like a lot of them are like, oh, like I
Those
laugh at the
exchanges
advertisements
online.
they have. It's like they'll be like, oh, banking is important. But I'll be like, yeah, now it is. Now after everybody done
but
emptied
so is
your
getting
accounts.
10% interest back on my money.
Yeah, exactly. Especially those coins and marketplaces
DeFi
that
banks
give you interest.
offer way
That's already
better rate.
destroying the market for them.
Dum-dums ain't enough no more.
Now they really have to give you some real percentage of money for the
Oh,
money
you mean
put up.
I'm supposed to get money back?
No, here's this lollipop.
And it's
here's
gone.
the dum-dum.
I
The
know.
dum-dum. No more dum-dums.
No more dum-dums.
No.
So what about the Super Bowl, man? Who do you think?
Man, what? Kansas City
The
just lost
Bengals
today?
just
See,
lost.
Tom Brady's out.
KC lost.
Tom Brady's out.
Woo.
Mahomes is out. That's there's other good teams, right? But it's like, and I'm not trying to act like I'm like this huge NFL.
No.
I pay attention towards the end for the most part, but unless it's involving the Bears, right? But
Right.
they're usually out pretty early.
I love my Bears.
Sad, man.
Yeah, but
I was
that's
talking
fine.
to a Green Bay fan over here the other day.
Yeah,
Earlier,
let's not
he's
get
like,
into
we
that,
gotta love
rivalries.
Green Bay just
Hey,
being
hey.
over here. I'm like, honestly, I'm from Chicago, so we kind of can't. I was like, you guys win a lot, but I was like, except the one time Brady, not Brady,
Jake gone.
what's his name?
State Farm.
I keep forgetting his name.
Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
See, I'm already in
The
his
one
head. I
time-
told
the
you
one
he was
time
out
he was
about.
like, yeah, we're gonna go to Chicago where we always win. When they came, they got destroyed that game. And I was like, they only beat him when he's talking smack. They're not gonna like.
Sometimes
Bears,
karma,
man.
as we all know, is a
he
bitch.
ate it right away because he was so proud to say it. And they're like, yeah,
Karma
we're gonna
is a
show you that
bitch.
we're gonna win this game one time.
As for me, I'm an NFC guy, so I guess
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll with the Fighting Niners for now. I love my Bears, but
49ers.
since I don't have a skin in the game, I'm gonna probably go with the
They-
49ers for the Super Bowl. We'll
Gotta
see how the game
many
goes
people are
tonight.
left. Yeah, we gotta see how many teams are still in. Oh, they haven't
Well,
played
it's
yet,
only
huh?
only 3 now at this point, but
Yeah,
once
right?
the 49ers, if they win it, then it's Bengals, 49ers, and the Super Bowl. So I think that would make it a very good.
That would be a crazy
That'd
one.
be an interesting game to watch.
I
Thank God
know-
it's
I know the
Tom
Chiefs are
Brady
upset.
Part 8.
I know the Chiefs are hurt off that one though. That
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
sucked losing for them.
They had their time to shine, so it's
Yeah.
not like they didn't. Oh my God, we
They
haven't
got
won a
their
Super
Super Bowl,
yet.
right?
They
So
had their
it's like they
Super Bowl,
can't
so
even-
you can't cry, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've reached the end of our segment, man. So,
Pretty
Ramston,
good.
thank you very much for
Yeah.
taking the time to be on the show, man. It's been great.
Happy to
Thank
do
you
it,
to
happy
Yvette.
do it.
I know she's busy,
Yep.
but
Yeah,
we
shout out
appreciate
Yvette.
her comments and everything she's had to say. Anything you want to tell anybody out there how to reach Gamesters Bay?
It's pretty much
Gamesters
Gamesters
Bay,
Bay all over on social media.
What's the address here? I think we had got you sent gave us the one in the dumpster.
Yeah, so this one's on 223 6th Street in Racine downtown. It's on the corner here, across from Butcher Barrel. It's kind of like a steakhouse. So, but yeah. So Gamesters Bay pretty much on all the social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I even have it down to like TikTok. I do some TikToks. LinkedIn. What else? I know I like Snapchat. Literally all of it. That's
Search
what you always want
Gamesters
to do if you're
Bay on
opening
all
up a
social media
business.
platforms.
All these accounts are free. You gotta have all these accounts. A lot of people will be like, I just need to have a good camera. No, you need to make the accounts first.
Hey,
you
we're
know?
on a
People won't
MacBook
even-
right now.
Right.
We're trying. We're trying.
I
And
think
so
we look
many
very
people have-
spiffy.
So many people have started on an iPhone camera or whatever, little. It doesn't
Technology
have to be
is
crazy.
advanced enough.
Exactly. How crazy is that, right?
Oh, yeah,
You
it
never
is.
would have thought like everything. Well, I mean, if you follow what the movies show us, right? And
Well,
like
yeah.
futuristic stuff. Like, oh, a phone has all this stuff on it. Crazy.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much, man. We
Yeah,
appreciate
anytime.
it.
Happy for you guys to
Gamesters
come by.
Bay,
Have
please
a
check us
good
out.
one,
If you're not
yeah.
in the shot, Gamesters Bay, there you go. Check it out. All social media platforms, and also don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah,
This is
send
the
this video
Chi-Town
up.
Poppy
Shout out.
Podcast.
And now this is G
CPP.
Money.
Money Bear.
And thank you for being with us. Thank you, Ramson.
yeah.
And you guys have a great day. Take care.